Hello, everybody. 1 week into the summer 2020 Olympics occurring in 2021, the United States leads the way currently, but just by a hair over China. No new gold medals for the United States yesterday, which is going to pose an issue lying ahead as China is well ahead of the United States in terms of gold medals. However, track and field hasn't really gotten going yet. We've only had one event. We'll talk about that here later in the video, but so United States generally outperforms China there, so we should retain the one slot, although we might lose it here for a day or two before the track and field events really start to get going. We'll also start to see some African countries enter the top 20 as they perform very well in the track and field events. And they already have, one of the countries already has 2 medals, so they're well on their way to breaking in to the top 20 as it stands right now. No new teams into the top 20 as compared to the past several days. However, Croatia has rejoined the top 20, kicking out Romania between yesterday and today. As for the water sports, no new synchronized diving or diving of any sort. That'll resume here in a couple days. We'll have the women's 800 freestyle tomorrow. We had an Olympic record in the women's 100 freestyle last night. So that's kind of how that's going at the moment. We also had an Olympic record set by the same Australian swimmer in the women's 50 freestyle last night. So those are going to be interesting races to watch. We had a world record in the women's 200 breaststroke last night with our swimmer from the Republic of South Africa, who also achieved an Olympic record in the prelims for the women's 100 breaststroke. Olympic records being set in many different cases across the swimming world. So that's something we're certainly going to be watching over the next few days, as we still have, I guess just tonight, we have the last 2 stroke events, not the freestyle events. If we go back, we still have another 2 nights of freestyle events and another few nights of swimming medleys. We have the mixed swimming 4x1 tonight, Olympic record set on that event in the prelims. So that's certainly something we're going to want to continue to watch. We had the men's 200 IM last night. China, Great Britain, and Switzerland taking home those 3 medals. And again, we still have lots of swimming to go, although not much. We still have volleyball, water polo to go. That'll be later in the Olympics. Rowing has finished out world best in the 8 rowing category. We had 4 new events. Those bottom 4 on the screen there. New Zealand taking home 3 new medals. Greece taking home a gold. That's really all I have to note on that. No other teams doubling up or tripling up like New Zealand last night. A couple Olympic bests, but really that's kind of where it's at. Sailing will begin tonight. We'll have RSX sailing both of those men and women events here tonight. We'll also have canoeing yesterday. It was actually kayaking. No new canoeing yet. And kayaking, though, the Czech Republic, Spain, and Great Britain taking home those 3 medals. Spain now with 2 silvers in the kayaking events, 1 for the men and 1 for the women. As for the nerd sports, like I mentioned, we are underway here in track and field. We have already actually had some Olympic records set, I believe, if I remember correctly. We'll see for sure here ahead shortly. The women's 100-meter track sprint will happen tonight, so that's certainly something we're going to want to watch. We had the men's 10K run yesterday. Ethiopia taking home gold, Uganda taking home silver and bronze. So still lots of potential for these teams to enter the top 20, perhaps, and probably even the top 10 before it's all said and done. Of course, we're watching Jamaica, well known for doing very well in these events as well. The mixed track relay 4x4 set an Olympic record. That event will be held tonight. That's certainly going to be one that we're going to want to watch. A very cool event. No more athlons yet, but the mixed triathlon will occur tonight. So that's certainly something that we're going to want to watch again. We have some cool events coming up. High jump, triple jump happening in a couple more nights. We have the discus occurring tonight as well for the men. And in a few more nights, we'll have some BMX cycling events. BMX racing cycling occurred yesterday. Great Britain taking home a gold and a silver. The Netherlands taking home a gold and a bronze. And Colombia taking home a silver and a bronze. So very diverse crowd, not. 3 countries taking home 6 medals on 2 events between the cycling that occurred last night. As for track cycling, we will have that in several more nights, about half a week or so. And we are continuing on with our archery and pistol shooting events. The women's archery individual occurred last night. And so we have South Korea, Russia, and Italy taking home those medals. Olympic record set for Russia and Korea, actually getting the same score of 38 in the women's 25-meter pistol event. China taking home the bronze on that. We'll have the men's archery individual later tonight. As for the rifle and shotgun shooting, nothing new yet. We'll have the rifle and the shotgun mixed events tonight. As for fencing, Japan, Russia, and South Korea taking home the men's team epi. And we'll also have the team saber events tomorrow night, or rather tonight, in the field of fencing. Taekwondo is over, as well as men's judo. We had the heavyweights last night. The Czech Republic, Georgia, France, and Russia sharing that bronze. And we also had the heavyweight women's group, Japan taking home yet another gold, as well as Cuba taking home that silver, Azerbaijan and France taking home the bronze. We'll have the judo mixed team event tonight, and that'll finish up judo for good for these Olympics. Karate's still a while away, as well as boxing, like I've been mentioning, so it's wrestling, but that's certainly something to keep an eye on here in the future. Weightlifting is on hold for the moment, but weightlifting will continue tonight for the men, but the 81 kilogram and 96 kilogram weight classes starting back up tonight. Men's trampoline gymnastics will happen tonight, as the women had theirs last night. China taking home both gold and silver in that event. As for some of the ground sports, we did have some developments here. We had the men's table tennis singles last night. China once again taking home both gold and silver. Croatia taking home once again both the gold and silver. We'll have the women's tennis singles later tonight. So lots of medals being handed out in 1-2s here, as we see the badminton doubles even. China taking home both gold and silver on that event. We already talked about the equestrian. There's nothing new here, but Germany taking home both gold and silver on that event. Nothing new in terms of 3-on-3 basketballs, of course, because that's over. Soccer will continue, or rather finish up towards the end of the Olympics. We'll have rugby sevens for women here in a few nights, and that rounds out the latest medaling events here for the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo.